Want to help the channel? Go to shopclownfish.com where you can check out official Clownfish TV merchandise in our brand new shop. It helps us out. Also, check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/clownfishtv for more art and gaming live streams that we don't do on YouTube. We want to see you over there as well. Now let's get into the video. Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And she's here. She's back.
I am back.
She's back. 2 videos. You weren't in 2 videos.
Sorry. Hey, my mom has that book.
Which?
The 20 Magical Years.
I think we have it too.
Or is it first 10 years? I think they did the first 10 years.
The first 10 years. Yeah, we have the Disneyland. I know we have the Disneyland one.
Yeah, sorry, that was completely unrelated. But,
anyway,
you know.
we're actually gonna talk about Disney by way of Universal. I know a lot of people give us flack for not talking enough about Universal. So we're going to talk about it because their revenue was catastrophic for the theme parks, but overall Comcast actually did better than they expected.
Right.
Because they have a backup.
Expect the same for Disney.
Yeah, it's not going to be the same for Disney because this again shows where diversification in different things, can save your ass. Warner Media is owned by AT&T, Universal, NBC, etc. is owned by Comcast. People are still paying their phone bills, are still paying for their internet. Disney is owned by Disney, and they were SOL when they shut everything down.
Right.
So this might give us some indication of what to expect from Disney, at least in the theme park, in regards to the theme parks. So before we get into it, please subscribe. We don't ask you very often to do that, but please do.
And you can also go check out the Disney site at piratesandprincesses.net.
Piratesandprincesses.net. That is Geeky's Disney theme park travel lifestyle brand blog.
Lifestyle, I guess, yeah.
Lifestyle blog.
So I don't like throw my arms in the air and like take pictures of myself in front of everything and expect you to be like, oh my God, you're amazing. It's
a good thing you don't, because all these lifestyle blogs are failing.
Yeah, well, I think everybody's sick of the fakeness. They're sick of the narcissism. They're, and I know one place in particular is just full of all that. So
there are a lot of those. They're like, hey everybody, we know you're flat ass broke, but come on, live the life, live your best life ever.
It's me.
Okay,
anyway.
So Universal theme park revenue falls 94% according to the Q2 earnings report, and we're going to talk about this because Epic Universe, if you guys haven't heard, super bummed about that. Epic Universe, which was going to have Super Nintendo World.
Both Mario, yes.
With Mario, that's been put on hold indefinitely.
Right, it's just on hold. It's not canceled as of yet. It's just on hold. I don't think they'll cancel it. I think it'll just get pushed back.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out in, what, 2023 they were going to open it?
Yeah, but I'm expecting it like 2025 now or something like that. So that is pushed back. But, okay, for Universal, it is their Q2. Disney's weird. Their first quarter starts in October and goes from October, till September, where Universal starts in January and goes to December.
Like a normal company.
So Disney's Q3 is going to be the calls next week on Tuesday, but this was the earnings call that was a Q2 for Comcast. Now, they did have a chart, and I highlighted it. Their theme parks were, they'd made $87 million, which was down 94.1% from the $1.46 billion it had made the year before at the same time. Now, keep in mind, this is Universal Studios, Orlando, Hollywood, Japan.
Yeah, Japan shut down too? Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. But Japan opened up too. I believe they opened up. So when they look at this graphic, this was from, what would it be, April through June.
So the worst of it, basically.
So it was down because their quarter one, they had January, February, March, and most of March, and they were doing pretty good. This quarter was when they took the hit. But they did get the parks open, at least at Universal Orlando. I don't remember when Japan opened, but they got it open for like a month. From like the beginning of June until the end of June. So they did have it open for like a month in this number range. Yeah,
so Disney, I expect them to actually be worse.
I do too.
Because their entire quarter, I think the parks have been down.
They would have been the same quarter for them, and they didn't open Disney World until July 15th. And then they did have their overseas parks open, but some of those aren't owned by them completely.
Right.
And the companies that are partnered with them took a huge loss too.
Now, they took a loss in filmed entertainment, obviously. Now, Universal, they got a lot of flack because they're the ones who went rogue and released Trolls 2.
Right, but now they have a deal with AMC, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're working it out, but I know they took a lot of flack, but they did what they had to do. But this is where most of their revenue comes from. Cable networks and obviously Comcast, the internet. You know, they can weather something like this because people need the internet. In fact, MarketWatch said that Comcast generated $14.4 billion from its cable businesses as the company saw record second quarter customer relationship net additions for that part of the business.
Well, yeah, everybody wants their streaming services. You need an internet for that.
Yep, Comcast also witnesses its best second quarter for high-speed internet additions in 13 years. Everybody's stuck in the house.
So high-speed internet it is.
Let's upgrade. Let's upgrade because we got to stream Netflix.
Well, yeah, now they're hooked on it, so they're going to continue to do so. So for them, they had all this other stuff that they could fall back on. So the theme parks wasn't catastrophic for them. It's bad. The numbers are bad. 94.1% down is bad, but it was just a small percentage of their overall. And overall, they were only like 11% down. And
yeah,
still way above expectation.
I mean, this is what's so weird about it because the theme parks, people don't realize how important the theme parks actually are to Disney. It is.
We keep saying it, but
it is the lifeblood of the Walt Disney Company. Like the theme parks make up a huge chunk of their revenue, and the movies. And Disney's basically dead in the water at this point. They don't have either one of them. Disney doesn't have a telecom to prop them up. So when they're down, they're down. Whereas with Comcast, it's like, just a scratch.
Yeah. So it's down 94.1% for Universal, and they had a whole month open among that. And now we're gonna get Disney's next week. Now here's the thing: Disney was closed for that entire quarter for most of their parks. Some of the ones that opened were shared parks with other companies. They didn't have the movies either, and like you said, they don't have the internet and the cable and all that to balance it or offset it. So when their numbers come out, expect it to be really, really bad. Yeah,
this is gonna be. I can only imagine what the Q3 earnings call is gonna be like for Disney. This is gonna be the worst they have ever had in the entire history of the company. I don't know what to expect for the stock. I mean, people might feel a little relieved that, the parks are open in some capacity, but then they're always going to be concerned that they might shut them down again.
Yeah, because that is a rumor.
And the movies have been delayed a year, 2 years, and
now there's word that there's a bunch of layoffs coming, staff cuts, etc. at the Walt Disney Company.
We'll get there. Yeah. Before we move on to Disney real quick, I just wanted to talk about the cock.
Okay.
We'll talk about
Cock and Chill.
Cock and Chill, Peacock.
I don't know why you keep referring to that. You think you're so funny and clever. It's so cute.
I'm just old.
You like saying the word cock and getting away with it.
I do, because we're talking about Peacock. Now, here's the thing. I didn't think it was going to do that well, but it's actually doing pretty okay.
I told you this.
Yeah, they said it's actually a bright spot in the company hit by cord cutting.
You were going to try to argue with me today when I said this.
Well, I am somewhat of an expert on cocks, but...
He's so proud of his immature jokes, too. You should see his face. He's just so proud of it.
We're talking about peacocks. I can say cock as many times as I want to.
No, please don't. It's just, it just rubs you the wrong way.
There's a joke in there, too. NBC Universal's Peacock signed up 10 million customers in its first 3 months, making the new streaming service a rare bright spot at Comcast. Comcast disclosed the initial results while reporting the second quarter earnings on Thursday. NBC said it hopes Peacock will reach 30 million to 35 million users by 2024. It has The Office, that's or will have The Office, and they have some exclusive shows. They're bringing back shows nobody asked for, like Punky Brewster. Why? Saved by the Bell. Why?
And they're going to be the modern version, so you know how that's going to go.
Yeah, we already know how that's going to go. But it's actually doing pretty okay. Now, Peacock has the same problem that HBO Max has in that it's not available on Amazon or on Roku, which is like 70% of the market.
Yeah, I don't know why people keep doing this.
Like, can you imagine if both of these services dropped on, platforms that people actually watch instead of just your tablet or your laptop? But I don't know why they did this. Some people think Amazon's up to shenanigans trying to keep people off of the Fire Stick.
Well, they have done that before. They tried that with Disney, but somehow at the last minute they worked out a deal.
Money talks.
Yeah, they did try to do that with Disney Plus.
Yeah, and it was like the day before they announced it was coming to Amazon.
Yeah, I remember that happened. So what else did you want to cover before we talk about the important things like layoffs?
Well, I was going to talk about layoffs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Abigail Disney, because we're talking Universal. Now, Universal, the theme park division did lay a bunch of people off, unfortunately, because the demand's just not there. And you know, I'm hearing rumors from people in the entertainment business that Universal in general, NBC is probably still going to lay a bunch of people off, but it's not going to be as catastrophic as Disney probably will be. And Abigail Disney,
she likes to tweet.
She loves to tweet. She went off on another tirade. She's been pretty vocal. Now, she is Roy's granddaughter. So Walt was her great uncle. I think I have that right. Her great uncle would have been Walt.
Yeah, because her parents' uncle was Walt. Yeah.
So, but she's very, very vocal, and she talked about corporate greed. But the thing is she talked about layoffs, and we just did a video the other day talking about the rumors of layoffs. And if Disney's Q3 earnings call is as catastrophic as we think it's gonna be, there are gonna be layoffs, and there might be some shocking layoffs because it's going to be the worst Disney's ever had. But she went on a tweet storm, they call it. This is Deadline calling it a tweet storm. Layoffs are coming to Disney, according to Abigail Disney. Some of her tweets. She said Disney furloughed its workers because they intend to lay many of them off, but they didn't want the bad publicity that would come with the layoffs, so they chose to take the heat of 2 medium-sized PR hits.
One great big one. Here's the thing. That surprises me anyway, because Disney usually tries to hit like one thing and bury it.
Yeah. So she said, wait for it, layoffs are coming. I don't expect Disney to pay people who don't work for them, nor do I expect them to employ people in excess of what they can afford. She made 2 specific complaints about management. She said the last 2 decades prioritizing efficiency and productivity in the forms of smaller staffs doing the same amount of work. And the second, actually, I think they're bloated in some ways, but the second was when they furloughed workers who were already living close to the bone, they shifted the moral burden of caring enough about those who mutually create profits with them onto the state and therefore the taxpayers. Disney and other companies, she went on, are asking us to pick up the tab for their years of whittling away the dignity of the American worker so they could transfer all that value way upstream to people like me.
Well, to be fair though, this is how a lot of companies have been operating. How many times have you been in a job or, you know, you work somewhere and then people quit or get laid off and then you have to do the rest of their work and they don't hire someone to replace them, so the work has to go to everybody who's already there so that they could make at the end of the day they could keep the costs down and make the profits higher for the shareholders?
Yeah, it's more prevalent, I think, in corporations.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, public corporate, because, you know, they have the pressure to perform for shareholders. Now, private businesses, not so much, but I mean, people, look, they're going to cut corners where they can cut corners. Disney, though, I think they just got too big for their britches. And then when they had a setback like this, they were not prepared.
Well, they overspent their money on stupid things like Fox.
Yeah, so I think if anything...
And they ruined Star Wars.
God, yeah, I mean, they are going to learn a very, very hard lesson from this, and I think Disney is going to shrink. I think they're going to stop trying to be an empire because, you know, that's what cost them. If they were the company they were 20, 30 years ago, and they had cash in the bank, and okay, fine, you know, the theme parks take a hit, we can't release movies for a while, and they weren't releasing tent poles every month back then. They did put a couple of movies out a year.
Yeah, remember back in the day where you might have a movie in theaters for several months instead of just like, you know, one every other week. Yeah,
they would put an animated movie out like once every other Christmas or something. They would do a couple of live action, you know, pictures throughout the year, but mostly it was the theme parks and merchandise and stuff like that. If they were still that size and they had money in the bank, they could easily weather this. Now the thing is they're not going to be able to bring everybody back they laid off.
No. Well, last year we said it was coming because they were just being so gloaty, and we said that their arrogance was their problem. Remember, we kept saying their ego and their arrogance, and we said it over and over and again, and people were like, you're just a bunch of jerks, what do you know? And then when this happened, as soon as any kind of trouble happened, it just took them out because they went on this. They thought nothing could topple them. Yeah. And like every empire, they get you know, it's like an American Adventure. When they said about the end, they said about America faces what, you know, any other great nation ever faced, you know? And it's kind of like that where, you know, there's too much plenty and too much leisure, and then, you know, stuff bites you in the ass. So, you know. Yeah, the money was flowing like water, and Iger was spending, and it's going to take them, I'm telling you, it's going to take Disney years to get back to where they were. And, you know, they've got these tent poles. Well, the MCU Endgame was, for a lot of people, was the end of the MCU.
You know, I mean,
yeah, and I don't think that the phase 4 is going to bring them in like they think, because, well, quite frankly, they're already pushing it a certain way, and as we've seen from comics and other entertainment outlets that push things a certain way, what happens?
Yeah, the MCU.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's just it. I mean, all the leads that people cared about for the last 10 years are either dead, old, or they're going to be sidelined.
Well, that's it. That's what most people are going to see, and that's why most people are going to go. But they're going to say it's because of misogyny.
I don't know if that excuse is going to work much longer.
Well, I think that's what they're going to say. They're going to say it's because of misogynists. It's because of the alt-right haters that our movies are feeling. But it's most likely because people are burnt out on them, and they gave it 10 years, and now they just don't care.
I'm just thinking, okay, so do they blame the alt-right for the failure of Solo? And if that's the case, how can you call them the alt-right? Because there's a hell of a lot of them.
Well, not just that, but it's like they always want to blame it on certain things. But yeah. It's a global issue. It's not just an American issue, but they want to attribute to things that Americanized ideas. And I think that's hilarious to me. Yeah,
you've got people that, you know, like preaching on Twitter, preaching to people overseas about Democrats and Republicans, and they're like,
we don't care.
We don't care. This isn't how our country works. I don't care. Shut up.
Stop, America, stop trying to tell everybody else what to do.
Stop.
You're not my mom.
You're not my mom. Yeah, so anyway, I was just gonna say, instead of America's ass, America is sometimes the world's asshole. And, you know, we just keep farting our opinions on everybody else. Anyway, yeah, I think there's a day of reckoning coming for Disney, for sure. They don't have anything. I mean, people were talking about Apple buying out Disney, and I laughed at it at first, but I'm like, you know what? If Apple owned Disney, they could have gotten through this a lot easier, because Apple's still selling phones. They've still got the iTunes store, the App Store. They're still making money. Actually, a lot of these companies, Comcast is making more money now because everybody's stuck in the house.
Yeah, Disney, it's not going to be good. I'm just going to tell you, it's not going to be good because they don't have all the backups to pull them up.
Yep, so we will see what happens, but yeah, Comcast, I think they'll rebound a lot quicker. Looking forward, very much looking forward to Epic Universe. I can't wait for that to be
We're bummed they canceled Halloween Horror Nights. So
incredibly upset about that.
But, you know, and I think it's coming, I think it is going to come that they're going to cancel Christmas, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, so we'll see.
Yeah, they'll cancel it at Universal now. The Grinch cancels Christmas at Universal. All right, so we're going to wrap this one up.
Yep.
Okay, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.